DMing. Me and my friends are just
like
starting
direct
to
message, like when
to
you
do
send a
our
message.
own campaign. Dungeon mastering.
Oh,
Dungeon
God.
mastering.
Oh, God. You're listening to You're listening to the... You're listening to... Fuck! You're listening to the Too Damn Loud podcast. I'm Jake, and this is Danny. We're from the band Homestyle.
Podcast.
Shut up! That was my
You
third
sound like a character
try.
from Star Wars. The podcast.
The podcast. Or someone from like Louisiana. The podcast.
So, yo,
Well, I
listening
like
to
the podcast. You know, I went to the podcast.
Okay, I have a question.
No. What? Hey, it's Mike.
Sorry.
Whoa.
I was going to talk about Southern people.
No. Oh, okay.
I forgot we have a system.
We have a system.
Go
okay.
ahead.
And I'm taking this question. I'm surprised you haven't asked me this before. Well, on the podcast.
Yeah.
What is your biggest insecurity?
Oh, you know this because that used to be my icebreaker.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Like,
whenever I would meet someone, I'd go, "What's your biggest insecurity?"
And you said it's good because people either laugh or they get real deep.
Exactly.
Either way.
Exactly.
And it's great. It's smart.
It either catches them off guard and you have like a fun, oh, ha, 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 this guy's funny. Or you have like a deep talk about someone's like genuine traumas.
Exactly.
My deepest insecurity, man, it really varies a whole bunch.
Yeah.
I think my deepest insecurity.
Well, not being good enough is mine.
I'm talking.
Oh, sorry.
I think my deepest insecurity is I really want to be a good person.
Yes.
And my deepest insecurity is that I'm
being
not.
mean.
And being mean. Mm-hmm. And that the people that I love and that I care about don't know that I love and care about them.
Yeah.
I think that is a deep insecurity of mine.
Yeah.
Because I really want all the people that I care about in the world to know that I love them, to know that I care about them, to feel loved, cared about, thought about. Mm-hmm. And I'm insecure that I don't convey that enough, that I spend too much time focused on me and not contributing to the society. I think in the performing arts, sometimes I feel like, am I spending so much time on music that I'm like, is this too self-centered? Is this too selfish what I'm doing?
Like to the point where it's crippling. Like anything you do for yourself, you're like, I am a bad person. I did something for myself.
Yes.
And if you think about it, that's kind of like a form of like self-hatred, isn't it?
Oh, deeply. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because
definitely self-hatred.
Because I mean, you have to be able to be happy. You have to be able. I find myself being so pessimistic about everything. You know.
Yeah.
It's like it's a plague. Like, and it's mostly about society. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm glad I got to go get coffee this morning or whatever's happening. And there's some people in the earth that are just being bombed by our government.
Yeah, it's just cruel. And there's cruelty
contributing to this economy.
But the thing is, like,
can I?
Yeah,
it's not our fault.
No,
it's not our fault for being born in a place like this. And sometimes I need to remind myself that.
And here's the thing with that: there's cruelty in the world. There is endless cruelty in the world. But if we don't allow ourselves to feel the joys of life and the love of life, then life is pointless. Yeah. If we spend our lives it's important to keep the cruelty of the world in mind and to not take what we have for granted. But part of that is realizing, I am lucky. I shouldn't feel bad that I am lucky, but I should cherish it.
Yeah.
And
be thankful.
The people who live in the cruelest parts of the world, who are going through all the times, they would give anything to sit in a room and talk like we are and have a conversation.
And then put it on the internet and people see it. It's true,
What I'm saying is, it doesn't help anyone to just feel guilty for not being in the shit.
Yeah.
But what we can do is cherish what we have and do what we can to give to those who aren't as fortunate.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, what else are you supposed to do?
What else are you supposed to do?
You be thankful. It's true. I like that. It takes the joy though, out of my life when I.
Yeah, it's like so easy to spiral. It's so easy to spiral.
It's internalized sometimes where I'm like, I don't tell myself you can't be happy. But it's
like,
more
how am I sitting here laughing and
could I
watching TV and just relaxing?
Like my biggest problem is being on my phone too much.
Yeah.
And there's people that their lives are just horrible, like nightmares.
Yeah, there are people growing up on the streets.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's a sad life.
That's just part of it. But Anyway,
welcome to this comedy podcast where we laugh about fun times and jokes. Hey, what's your deepest insecurity?
I said.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it's not being good enough. And
yeah.
But it can translate in the most bizarre ways. Like it can be anxiety. It can be anger.
Yeah,
it can
all rooted in
it
that
can be being
insecurity.
mean to other people. Like it's been a long time since it's been that. But looking back, I'm like, dude, I've been mean to people.
Yeah.
And it's just pure projection.
Well, Jake, you're good enough.
Thanks.
You're good enough.
Hey, you too.
Thank you.
But I think that not good enough, like, bleeds into the I'm not supposed to be here. Like, why it,
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's funny how one insecurity, one deep-rooted problem can manifest itself into so many little problems throughout our lives. Right?
Yeah.
Like my deep self-hatred manifests in, like, I think a funny, ironic thing of having insecurities of feeling like I'm a bad person and feeling like I'm selfish is spending so much time focused on am I a bad person that you neglect people.
Yeah, shit, man.
Right? So it becomes like a lot of things, if you dwell too much on something, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So me wondering like, am I selfish? Am I blah, 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 blah. I spend so much brain power on that instead of taking a step back, taking a deep breath and going, how can I better somebody else's day? Right?
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah. Like you think you're selfish and then you become selfish.
Totally.
And you don't mean to.
You
know, you're like, that's the last thing I want.
Yeah.
And that's all you think about and then you become it. It's crazy.
Everyone should go to therapy.
Everyone. No, like literally. Here's the thing. I didn't think I needed I didn't think I needed it. Or I didn't think I was great, But when I went, there's just so much more than I realized that needs to be worked on. Like so much.
And it's all connected. Like a web.
All of it.
Like
literally.
a web.
It's like because of this when you were younger, this happened.
And because of that happened because of what you were younger is why this happened.
It's insane.
It's a crazy trauma web.
But not only that, like you learn and there is comfort in knowing why you act the way you do. And then, but I think my favorite part of therapy is it's made me self-aware in a good way because I think after I smoked weed, like just the first time, I'm serious. I think before I was completely not self-aware. You remember me in high school, man? I was just kind of like crazy. And then after I started smoking, I think I became so self-aware and so anxious. I think it went
flipped
the
your
other
problems.
way. Yeah. And so I was like too brazen and now I'm like
and now you're overthinking, overanalyzing everything.
But therapy...
Damn.
It is so good to be self-aware, but not to a fault. It's so bad to just like sit there and like I sometimes think about thoughts that I'm thinking like one after the other. Why did you even think that? Well, I thought that because of this. But
and then you just spiral.
Why would you do that?
Absolutely spiral.
You go down. And now I can catch myself when I'm feeling anxious. I go, oh shit. Like what do I do? It's well, first off, it's recognizing the feeling of anxiety, And then it's like, okay, this is what I'm going to do about it. Whether it's meditation, whether it's just breathing real quick, whether it's going on a run. But what I realized is problems don't just go away. Like anxiety will, you could just, I guess, sit there and wait. But for me, or depression even, it's the exact opposite of just waiting. Like do something now about it. That is the best cure, at least for me. Not cure, but gets...
It's the best way to, like, I think a lot of people with depression and anxiety are looking for a cure, but the only way to help it is just do one thing. Take one step. Take one step to better yourself. And that puts your foot in the door. You know what I'm talking about?
You need to try.
You need to just try.
It's so
just do
scary.
Do one little thing that's good for yourself.
It's crazy how, like, I would rather sometimes just sit and be anxious and think about why I'm anxious and spiral, then just and I'm telling myself too. I'm like, just stand up and go outside. And
I can't get locked into like anxiety, ADHD paralysis every day, where I would just sit on the couch.
That's the worst.
I couldn't. I couldn't move. I couldn't get up
amplifies.
because all I was thinking about was overanalyzing every thought in my brain, every action I'd ever done, everything I've ever said, anybody I've ever talked to.
And the ADHD hyperfixates the
Oh,
anxiety,
yeah.
which is already hyperfixated.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like you're like, boom.
And all I'm
it's
thinking
there.
about is like, I need to get up. I need to do the dishes. I need to do the laundry. I need to do my homework. I need to do this and this and this and this.
And
then
you
just
can't.
become so overwhelmed that you just sit on the couch for 6 hours.
Yes, it's crazy. You're
It's
like,
a
I have all
crazy
this stuff to
phenomenon.
do, and you can't.
Dude, let me tell you, the best thing that helped to heal my anxiety, that again is linked to trauma that my therapist talked to me about, is we found the root of a lot of why I'm at least socially anxious. And it's because when I was a kid, I was just very nervous to talk to people and make friends. And like, I had a lot of problems with like new schools and understanding people. And that trauma carried on for the rest of my life. And my therapist told me to envision that I'm talking to myself as that anxious little kid and just say, I forgive you.
Yeah.
I forgive you.
Doesn't that make you
and it's gonna be okay.
like want to cry?
Oh yeah. I'm holding it back right
Yeah.
now. But just forgiving that kid helped me to go to the grocery store and or because I used to be able to not like talk to cashiers, man.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
I didn't
dude.
know it was like.
Oh, it was that bad. It was really bad.
You want to know one of my favorite conversations we ever had with someone was
Oh, I think I know where this is going.
we were talking to someone after a show.
This is
And
brutal.
we're
man.
just having a normal conversation, and you just out of nowhere, you just go, "Well, I'm clearly not good in social situations." No, or you
just
said,
smiling and nodding.
and you said something like, You're like, I'm very anxious in social situations, as you could tell. Then I was like,
You're like,
but dude,
you're like, dude.
like, really, I get it. Like, it's funny. That's
And
funny.
here's the thing: at the
But-
time, like that was my best way to cope.
But
Because
at
I didn't know
least
what to say. Like I'll like because I used to talk to people, and like if a conversation would start, I would say like, oh, blah blah blah, and then my brain would just just freeze.
I get that, man. I get that because sometimes I'm just thinking about something else.
yeah.
Like, I think we know each other. I think you could tell when I just have a glazed look over my eye. You're talking to me and I'm just like, but I have it with
Yeah.
you too, because like we were doing the video earlier and I was pitching ideas and
You could
were
tell
like-
that my head was just.
you looked at me as I was pitching the ideas, but you weren't responding and you just went, and you were still thinking. You looked at like the wall and but like I get it, you know.
Yeah.
Like
Two
it's not
ADHD
rude.
motherfuckers.
Yeah, we're just
trying to
like-
have a conversation,
But god damn,
dude. And it's crazy. Like I still remember like, and it still happens sometimes, but not nearly as badly. But like talking to people and then thinking like, okay, they just said something. How am I gonna like?
How
what
am I
do
gonna respond?
What am I gonna say to that? Oh God! It's been 5 seconds. Oh God! It's been 10 seconds.
Dude,
I need to
no.
say something. Say
No.
something. Say something. What am I gonna say? Oh, it's been too long. Now they think you know. And you
yeah.
just keep
Oh my
going.
god, that
get
that
so
sounds
trapped
like a
in that.
nightmare, man. Like
Yeah, social anxiety's a bitch, dude.
it sounds like it, and I mean, I couldn't. I don't know. I just don't like the thought of someone saying something, and then
Oh,
then,
God, yeah.
and then you having because you feel an obligation to respond.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes like now I'm like half and half. Sometimes I'm ready for conversation.
And you can just you don't have to
You
think. Your
you know
mouth
what it's
just
like when I'm
goes.
out there, you know,
Yeah.
just like I can talk to anyone sometimes. Like at shows, I'm like that. I'm like, yup, everyone is my friend, and I'm talking to everyone. And other times, I'm like, no,
Like, please don't talk to me. I don't know what to say.
And if I'm in a group setting, lots of times you'll just catch me not responding because
Yeah.
I'm like, someone else will do this. I don't. like,
Someone else will do.
I've
Someone
learned
else
just-
talk to this.
I've
fucking
learned
guy.
to not feel the anxiety if I'm in a group, and just let it be
Yeah.
awkward. Like
Yeah.
yesterday, I talked
Group
to some,
conversations are weird, man.
Yeah, I talked to these girls at the social last night, the fake bar, the mocktail bar, and I walked up and we were just talking, and you know they knew our band and everything, and it was kind of awkward at times, but it's like, dude, like
That's okay.
it's you can live, but the thing is, I do understand. Like, I used to like have an awkward situation, and then it would just sit with me.
Yeah.
For
Oh,
for like
God.
days. Be like,
Uh-huh.
remember
Be
when
like,
I
I can't believe that. I think like the real kicker with anxiety is you have to remind yourself that no matter what, it's all just going to be fine. Life's just going to go on. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because it's like if you're talking to people and there's an awkward space, a lot of the times when you're anxious, you're thinking like, this is the end of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just did it.
I can tell. You're like looking off. I was like, is something wrong with like, the cord here?
I was looking at the microphones and I was like, that's the wrong microphone. But I don't think it is. I don't think so.
It is not. It is the right
not.
microphone.
Are you sure? It looks kind of old.
I promise you.
You're right.
Yep.
But you know what I realized the other day? I was in the car and I was anxious I was unhappy, which made me anxious because I'm like, you're supposed to be happy, you know? And
Yeah.
I was driving.
That's a trap for your brain right there.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a rock in a hard place.
Really? And so I just kidding. I realized I can just feel. I told myself, I was like, just fucking relax. Like I said it like that.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking relax and feel it. Like
Yeah.
just be, it's okay. No one is here.
You got to get out of your head and into the world.
Take the emotion.
Into reality.
Feel the
it.
energy. Don't push it away. That makes you so detached and it's just not right, you know? And so I remember I relaxed my shoulders. I sulked.
Yeah.
I was sad. I let tears happen and I was like, wow, I feel way better, you know?
I spent so much of my life
Bottled.
far back in my brain.
Yeah.
Far back in my brain because I was too afraid to like feel, too anxious to be here. But
Yeah.
that's the only way to fix your anxiety and your depression, your overthinking, is if you let yourself be in front of
Here.
your head and not in the back.
And the best ways for me to do that is meditation, nature,
Yeah,
or both.
nature is phenomenal.
But do you remember you were having a terrible day and we were filming videos and everything and then I just drove up that canyon
Yeah.
and then we
We just
went
took
on a
walk.
hike.
We just took a walk in nature
And
chewed on grass
on a mountain.
like cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we went up a
was
little
beautiful.
on the
It
hill
was a
and
beautiful
all of a
day.
sudden you were just like, dude, I feel great.
Well, I mean, it's just disconnecting from the world. It's so interesting how like being a human these days is just being surrounded by infrastructure and technology and the internet and the entire world at your fingerprints.
And that's what's
you really
important
need.
and prioritized
You
is
really
your
need
social
to take
media.
a step back and
You
go
do.
into nature and be away for a second and take a deep breath and just be. You need to just be sometimes.
Every time I go into nature, I get a beautiful hyperfixation, and it's on one of two things. It's either life is beautiful, and I think about how many people I love, and
Yeah.
and the world is beautiful, and this tree is gorgeous, and I love myself. And then the other one is the government is horrible. Like truly, because I go out into nature and I go, this
The
is
government is so
this
twisted
is
and
how they
corrupt.
want us. They don't want us to feel this way.
No,
they
they
want to give us our phones and trap us in our 9-to-5 jobs every day and not be able to feel. But then
No.
I go out and I'm like,
And they want to trap us.
They
in
want us-
escapism.
Yes.
In virtual reality.
because it's right at our
and-
fingertips.
yeah.
You used to go have to watch a movie to like feel free, you know, and then you come back to 2025 and you look at your phone every morning. First thing you do, what do? Look at your phone. You can scroll, and you have endless, fun. But it just makes us way more sad. It's not a healthy
Listeners
form
out there,
of escapism.
one person listening to this, I want you to take your best buddy and go to a park or a mountain if you have them, or a beach if that's where you are.
Yeah,
and just go on a
nature.
walk. Just go on a walk for
And
30
talk
minutes and just chat
to each other.
Chat about fun memories from your childhood. Chat about media you like, bands you like, some fun thing that you saw or want to talk about. It will be so healing.
And here's the thing. Talk and don't be scared to just be you.
Yeah.
Just share your opinions, your emotions, and everything, because that feels way better than just kind of talking to someone,
Yeah.
Like the nature and the emotion, just feeling it'll happen.
Speaking of being you, I feel like that's another like
Being Jake?
being Jake.
Ah,
I feel like that's another like insecurity and problem that I've grown in just being a human these days, because I feel like everyone has to have like a version of themselves that they present to the world through social media,
Yeah.
through the internet. And it's like taking a step back and just going on a hike and just being
who you
being
are.
who you are,
What you are.
unapologetic, is so beautiful.
It is
It
beautiful.
is so beautiful.
It is beautiful. Well,
How about some questions?
You sent us some questions.
let's answer some of the people's questions. My Abby, my sister, she said that she had a coworker who's a fan of ours, and the coworker was like, I sent them an email and they haven't answered it. Like, why is it taking so long? And Abby's response was like, dude, he doesn't even answer my text messages on time. What makes you
like, what do you think? And what do you mean? Do you think we're going to email you back? We're like, hey, thanks for emailing. Blah, blah.
So to Abby's coworker,
we definitely could.
We might answer it
Yeah,
today.
it's a luck of the draw.
It's a luck of the draw. And speaking of the luck of the draw, I'm picking this one.
Also,
this one has an image.
I was
nice.
like, don't open that, please. It's just like a fully like a penis or some shit. Some guy's like, look at my cock.
It's just like the nuclear code. It's like,
oh,
you're on a watch list now. Congratulations. Hannah asks, how do you close a mellow mushroom takeout box? Well, you're going to want to take the cardboard and you're going to want to
close it.
Two of the sides down first that have a little ridge, and then the other two sides, when you close it, should fold into those ridges. And this is Hannah and their best friend Maddie.
Oh, that's awesome. Why did you ask that question?
Well, clearly because she didn't know how to close the box.
You don't have
to be
a phone.
condescending.
No, listen.
You don't have to be condescending to Hannah. If Hannah got mellow mushroom, whatever the fuck that means,
is,
and wants to take some of it home and doesn't know how to operate the box, you know what's going to happen? She's going to have it open in her car, and she's going to have to be very careful driving, because if she hits a bump and that box is
fly everywhere.
It's going to fly everywhere, and then the interior of the car is ruined, and she's got to spend a whole afternoon just wiping off mellow mushroom off her goddamn leather.
Listen, I'll be honest. Those boxes are so confusing that I just hold the food in my hand.
Really?
Yeah, like no plate. I just hold the food.
I don't mean
this.
I don't mean to brag. Mm-hmm. I'm not putting myself above you or Hannah.
Well, I feel like you're about to say something that is putting.
But I've never had a problem with the
box.
With the box,
really, the mellow yellow box. You've never.
I've never been to mellow mushroom.
Okay.
So I can't say
the
that
boxes
I know how to fold a mellow
That's
mushroom.
why
box,
we got a question about it.
Olive Garden, no problem.
Well, because they close it for you. And they put the food in it for you.
Yeah, but I mean,
that was a cop-out.
You know the box.
That was a cop-out.
You know the box that I'm thinking that it's like it has like the little folds.
Politician ass answer. Give me a break.
It's got the flaps on top that you fold the flaps down and you put the little
so now
tab
you're an expert.
into the tab holder.
People are paid to do that, okay? You don't need to memorize that, okay?
Yeah.
That's way too complicated.
Well, then maybe Hannah should ask an employee to do it next time.
No, maybe Hannah should send an email to us next time. Hey, Hannah, if you ever need to work on opening another box or anything,
let us know. We're here to help. If you need to close a box or if you want us to talk about our anxieties and insecurities.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I'm going to narrate Jake scrolling through this like he is a kangaroo and I am an Australian.
And you are Danny. Go.
On the left side of the savannah, we see Jacob Follett in his natural habitat, looking at questions for the Too Damn Loud podcast to answer. Shrimp on the barbie. Hello, love. I'm going... I lost it.
Yeah, well, I just opened one. How do we always get Maddie's? Jeez, Matty.
That's the same person.
Yeah, look.
That's Maddie, the friend of...
They're
the same
hanging
picture.
out.
That's the same
They sent the same picture of them hanging out, and they're like, typing this from Mellow Mushroom, by the way.
What is mellow mushroom? Well, what's Maddie's question?
This is funny. Your toilet is a sentient being and it can talk. Would you rather the toilet enjoys its job or hates it? I would
way rather that the toilet enjoy it.
Oh yeah,
if the toilet like you would shit and piss in the toilet,
and he's like, nom, nom, nom.
Thank you,
and he's like,
Jake.
more poop and more pee, please, more poop.
I'll
and pee.
see you in an hour, Jake. I sure hope you ate some cheese.
And I'm like, thank you, little guy.
I know how that lactose treats you, Danny.
Oh, dude, that would be so.
Here's the thing: if a toilet is sentient and it hates its job, then I would never want to shit in it.
Can you imagine?
Then I'd just feel terrible.
You sit on the toilet, it's like nice balls.
You're like, you sit in the toilet, it's like, oh,
thank you,
not
toilet.
again. It's like, clocking in.
Yeah.
Another day at work.
My toilet has a bidet.
That's awesome.
I know.
I'm not gonna lie, that's so cool.
I got it, and
bidets are great.
Sometimes it's cold
bidets
as
feel
fuck.
so good. You ever put it like to the pressure's way too high? And you're like, oh
yes. I did it the other day. I said
you gotta go gradual. You gotta.
I didn't gradually do it. I went. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't love it, but Please open the
Okay.
next question. Please open the next question.
Um,
I loved it. I
Hi,
love that
it's
water.
Letitia. Letty. I see you guys are coming to Sacramento, which I'm definitely going. Hell yeah,
Hell
we're
yeah.
going on tour. And
Oh
one
yeah,
of our
we're going on
stops is
tour with the
Sacramento.
Ghost Club, guys.
Anyway, my actual question is, how do you guys deal with stress, work or life stress? I love your music. Can't wait to see you in Sacramento.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
We've had a stressful past little bit. You've had a very stressful.
It has been very stressful.
And I feel like that stress, it continued just into my personal life because I was not used to not being stressed.
Dude, so for context, we just barely finished up an album. We
filmed
worked
an album.
like most of our 2025 up until like maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago has been recording this album, editing this album, working on it day in and day out.
Like literally
from like 8 a.m. to like 2 a.m. every day. It's
Crazy.
been absolutely brutal, and it's been very, very stressful. And it is very interesting how when you do something like that, like you were talking about, the first week back to our normal day to day, I fell into like a deep depression because I was working.
Like, what do I do?
Working, and now I just suddenly have so much time.
Yeah.
That the stress was still
It
there.
lingers. Then you get the anxiety of why am I not doing anything?
No,
I'm being
literally,
unproductive,
literally.
And then I got that same thing, the paralysis, where I was like, well, I can't even think of any like video ideas at this point. Like I'm
'cause
so.
you're just so burnt out and overwhelmed.
But then came around.
Yeah.
Got to hang out with my girlfriend. Went to nature.
No, just the best way to deal with stress is to, in my opinion, for me, is to take a step back and just like unhinge yourself from the problem for a second. You're so focused on what you're stressed about, and just take 5 minutes and let your brain not think about it at all. When after the album, I was really stressed. And I was focusing and I was listening to these songs over and over and over and over. And my partner, they told me they could tell that I was like, I hate these songs and I can't take it anymore. And they said, you're going to go 3 days where you don't listen to the songs at all, where you don't check the numbers of the TikTok at all, where you don't think about the band. Just 3 days where you don't even focus on it. And after those 3 days, going back and looking at the project, I felt so much better.
Like it sounds way better.
Disconnect from what you're stressed at. Take some time. Spend time with the peoples you love.
Yeah.
And relax. Play a video game you like. Watch TV you like. Cook a nice dinner for yourself and have a conversation with your parents, with your sibling, with your partner.
It's about
with your buddy, with your dog.
It is same with anxiety, depression. It's about doing,
Yeah.
You
And it doesn't have to be big. Do something small.
Literally. I think you should just stay off your phone, personally.
That is big.
Like,
yeah.
being on your phone for hours a day, we don't even talk about it, but I'm like, that's got to be so unhealthy. We don't know the long-term effects of phone use. We have no clue,
Yeah.
Well, maybe not no clue, but I know our eyes don't like it. Our brains probably don't like it.
Yeah.
But as far as stress, that's a great way to get yourself stressed because you're avoiding the problem with something that is overstimulating, Just go be for a sec, like we talked about.
You know what I fucking love? What really gets me going? Board games, dude. You ever, I played a good board game. I played a really fun board game. Yes, my family was in town, and I played a good board game with them and my partner, and it was so good. And it helped relieve a lot of stress. Board games are so fun, man.
The thing about board games is, for the most part, I stay away from new ones because I'm like, I don't want to learn the rules.
Yeah.
But when you do learn the rules and you hyperfixate on the game for a while, just let yourself
And you just
do
have
that.
fun.
It's awesome.
And it's
get
games, board games, and even video games to me I like using it it's almost a way to vent the stress. You know what I mean? Because it is stressful and competitive and it's a competition. But it's a way to channel those emotions instead of just feeling all the stress and putting it on yourself. You put it onto something small, something that doesn't really matter, but you
go
still
into
feel,
GTA and just kill a ton of people, run them over on the street,
just brutalize a bunch
just
of
murder
NPCs,
people and shoot them, and they're like,
but you feel like
Pay
you
for
still
a
feel
hooker.
rewarded. You still
that would
did
make
you
me
do
feel
that
better.
in GTA?
Oh no, I never did actually.
Oh, really? I
But when
never
I was a
either.
kid, I googled it. I YouTubed. I looked up. I YouTubed. What am I 30? YouTubed, bro. I looked up hooker
That's wild, man.
in GTA or whatever they were called in
Yeah.
GTA, and I was like, dude, that's hot.
I remember when I was like 13 and I was playing GTA on my family room TV with everybody home, and I was going, and I went to the strip club, and there was like a bunch of. And I was looking around. I was like, I really hope nobody walks out and sees me just looking at
doing crazy
nudity
shit
on the TV right now.
I did that when no one was home. Like, it was rare that no one was home, and no one was home one day.
And
I went
like,
down.
I'm going.
and
I'm
I
playing
played
GTA.
You know, Watch Dogs, the game Watch Dogs.
love
There's
Watch
a
Dogs.
mission where there's just topless
Really?
women, and so I played that mission. And I went to the strip club in GTA and got a lap dance.
You were like, "This is my only
and
time."
I was like, "Yo, this is so sick."
That's
And the whole
wild,
time,
man.
any noise I heard, I was like, and I was ready to like run and turn off the Xbox. I was so, But yeah, looking back, I mean, that was totally fucking worth it. Okay?
What a weird thing, man.
I know. In a video game, that game you can really do anything.
In GTA,
Yeah.
Are you excited for GTA 6?
Yeah, it's taken so long, so it better be good.
I
But
know.
the thing is, I just don't play video games anymore.
That's true.
Like, when I did, I'd be like, holy shit. But GTA 5, like, I loved that game.
Yeah, I mean, Rockstar always does. I think we've talked about it on the podcast before. They just always have great stories. Like Red Dead Redemption 2, such a good story. Such a good story.
That's Rockstar?
Yeah.
The shit. I probably said that last time we talked about it, too.
I just started playing Fallout 4 for the first time. I've never gotten
You
into
never
it.
played?
I've never. No,
I like
I'm such a
3.
nerd.
I like 3 better.
I know 3 and New Vegas were good, and I love Skyrim, so I know I like Bethesda. But for some reason, I just never got into Fallout. But I'm really enjoying it this time around, and I want to watch because have you seen? There's a show too.
There is?
Yeah, there's a Fallout show.
My,
And it's supposedly great.
my friend's sister is one of the, like, extras.
Shit,
Two
really?
of my friend's sisters, yeah.
That's so cool. That's so cool,
They're
man.
just in it, and they had to like keep on the DL. They couldn't
Oh,
like tell anyone about it, and I
that's
was like,
really
I know
fun.
though, I know.
That's really fun.
But
I've always wanted to be like an extra in a movie and then say like, oh,
and be like, I was in that movie.
be like on the set.
Yeah.
It'd be so cool.
Like mobsters and Mormons.
That's a great movie.
Do you remember?
I
I haven't seen that movie.
Mobsters
in so
and
long.
more. Oh, you just unlocked a fucking
That
childhood
was filmed
memory.
in my neighborhood.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna have to go back. I haven't seen it since I was at like my grandpa's house when I was like 10.
You know whose house?
Who?
We're gonna beep it, but
No way.
Yeah.
No fucking
Cameron's
way.
backyard is in that.
You're joking.
No, and they had to go tell my neighbors.
I'm telling my family about
Yeah,
this because
dude,
we love
like
that
that's how
movie as a
close it
kid.
was to my house. They had to tell my other friends to shut their dog up because they were
Wow.
filming, and I was like, "This is so sick."
That's so cool, man.
And I watched the movie like twice. I was like, "This is the best movie."
It's
ever.
a great movie. It's a
haven't-
great movie.
I forgot what
have
all
it
I
on
remember is
DVD.
scrapbooking.
We should watch it sometime.
And the I remember he's like, "You want a Pepsi?" And he's like, "Well, actually,
And he's like, well, we don't drink caffeine.
Mormons,
and he's like, hey,
some
what do you
Mormons
mean you don't drink
Yeah.
caffeine?
That's so good.
So funny, man.
Everyone go
if
watch
there,
Monsters
if there are
and
any Mormons or ex-Mormons or Utah people who know the movie Mobsters and Mormons, great film.
Why is it a good film? He goes paintballing.
The paintballing scene, really fun. And he steals
that-
the kid's granola.
Oh yeah, that's the most mobster shit, dude.
Oh, it's so funny, man. It does like the pineapple on pizza, that whole bit. He's
Yeah.
like, hey, this isn't pizza. What do you mean it's a pizza? I grab my own coffee beans. You want some coffee? And they're like, we're Mormons. We don't drink coffee.
He's like,
And it's like, Classic shit, dude.
Dude, it's been a
Say
while.
what you will about the Mormons. But
That movie
some of those
fucking
straight to
rocks.
DVD Mormon movies went kind
Dude,
of
I hear that did great at the box office.
I don't.
It didn't go. Someone said, "Hi, Danny and Jake." That's probably not how they said it. They probably said, "Hi, Danny and Jake," because there's an exclamation
Well, you
point.
don't know how they. Talk.
Well, I'm assuming because I put an exclamation point. You know, they're using they're using voice to text.
Oh.
They wanted to make that apparent. So I just wanted to ask, how
Can
do
you imagine they're like in their car and they're like, by the way, I'm using voice to text to send this
That's
email.
what they're doing. That's the.
Oh yeah, that is
Yeah.
what they said.
I just want to ask, how did you guys come up with the name Homestyle Dinner Rolls coming from someone who's been in a band called the Albino Skunks? It's a play on words. If you know, you know.
That's a cool name, and I don't know.
I'm always interested to know how bands got their unique names. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
Well,
I can't
I'm
read.
sorry, but it's not that fun of a story. I was in a grocery store with our old drummer Kevin, and we were
One
like
of our
15.
17 drummers.
No, literally, we were 15 years old, starting the band, and I was like, we need a name for this band. And we were in the bread aisle, and I was like,
boom.
I was like, how about home style dinner rolls? And he was like, that's really dumb. And I was like, it's home style dinner rolls.
It is a good band name. And also, I wasn't even in the band.
No,
like,
no, this was before you ever joined.
So long ago.
Yeah, this was sophomore year of high school.
Dude, I remember being like, dude, I told you, I was like, I'm so good at guitar. Like, let me in.
Yeah,
and
I
then
remember.
I was just ripping the worst solos.
But here's the
and
thing.
then I
here's the
wouldn't play the chords, remember?
I do.
I just didn't know how to play.
But here's the thing, like, I didn't know how to solo at all. I could
So
play I could play chords pretty good, and then you came in
With
to
the
the
solo.
practice and at Cody's house.
Yeah.
And you were playing. I was like, this guy's so good. I was like looking at him ripping. I think you were playing like some basic pentatonic.
Yeah.
But to me at the time, I was like, this
Yeah.
guy is so good.
I think one of my favorite memories of the olden days in Cody's basement
Oh man,
was
legendary.
we got Say It Ain't So, I think.
Yeah.
And we were like, holy shit, we got it down. And we recorded it.
and put it on Instagram.
Well, we listened and we went, this fucking sucks. I remember.
I do remember that we thought it was so good.
We were all sitting there like, and we looked at each other and we're like, that wasn't that good.
You know what's insane to me?
Maybe Kevin wasn't hitting the
Is
crash every.
He was thinking about how bad we were when we were 15, and then watching Riffwood.
Yeah,
It's insane.
It's crazy.
How are they so good?
I don't
and we
get
were
it.
When we were 15,
We sucked.
We were so
It
bad.
took us so
It was
long
terrible.
to be listenable.
It was terrible.
And the thing is, we played lots of not sold out, but really packed shows.
yeah, we had just because we had a lot of friends.
Because we had friends, and they were all when we sucked.
We sounded so bad. And then Riffwood is like, oh my god, these
They're like
guys
insane.
are amazing.
Like, how are you 15 and just ripping it?
Shout
like
out
that?
to Riffwood. You
Riffwood.
guys are
You guys are
incredible.
blessed.
And
We
your
had to learn.
songwriting is
you
amazing.
have it in your soul.
Oh my god,
That's
I love
amazing.
them. I love them. Great songs.
Yeah, but sorry for the boring answer, but yeah.
Okay.
Bread aisle. Every time I'm on a live stream and someone asks, I just go bread aisle, and they're like, "What?"
Avila asks, as of now, there's only your single on there. Oh, for YouTube Music. I don't have Spotify, so I want to know if you haven't released anything on YouTube Music or if there's not. I did
know.
not phrase that well. I didn't read it all the way. I definitely jumbled up the words, but our music
Yeah, it
is
sounded like
on
nonsense.
YouTube Music. You just got to dig for it. I know it's on there, but I know it's weird with our distributor.
Yeah, we'll
messes
figure
it
that
up.
out one day. But I don't know. It's kind of the same answer when people go, "Why don't you have the lyrics for A Bit Too Heavy on Spotify?" I'm like, I don't know. I don't
We
know.
could, but we got a lot of plates on our shoulder, or whatever the
Do
expression
we?
is.
Sometimes when we don't, we just
Sometimes, yeah, we just don't.
You know.
Here's the thing: Jake and I, we're the only people running this ship, and we both have mad ADHD.
yeah.
So there's a lot of little things. Like for the past 3 shows, we just didn't have merch because we were both like, we just forgot to order it. And
Which
like
is-
the lyrics are like something that we're like, oh, we'll get to it, and we just don't.
Exactly. And I remember our old drummer did all the lyrics for the other songs.
Yeah.
And that's why there's even lyrics.
Yeah.
And I remember
I did lyrics for one. I don't remember which one.
one of them.
But I did it for
Was it
one. I
Standing
remember
By?
I sat down and I typed it out. I think it was for Standing By like 4 years
like
ago.
forever. Dude, that song, it's been a minute since Standing By. I like that song.
I love that song. That was a good song.
These are just some crazy questions. Like the what's it called? The
The header.
yeah.
That one just says, ah.
Let's do that one.
Let's
then.
do that one.
What do you do during
Wait, what's their name?
Keegan Ernst?
Hi, Keegan. It's got to be polite, you know.
Hi Keegan.
There you go. Hello, how are you, Keegan?
Keegan, actually this question is crazy. What do you do during extreme depression?
I like how half of ours are like, would you rather smear mustard
And they're
all
like-
over your
and
face
they're
or
like-
shove a pickle up your eye? And the other one's like, how do
Like,
you
what's
deal
wrong
with
with
extreme
you? What's wrong
depression?
with me? Also, would you rather Okay, this is funny. Also, would you rather shit a car or a truck? Keep in mind,
See?
you would be very constipated.
See?
That is,
Do you
it's
see
both.
what I mean? And obviously, okay.
Would I
starting
shit
off with
a
that
car?
A car, you dumbass. Why would you pick truck? If both of them are shitting out a vehicle and there's a bigger vehicle or a smaller vehicle, I'd pick the smaller vehicle. I'd pick a Honda Fit. I'd pick a Toyota Prius.
Get a smart car and poop that out.
like a Fiat.
That's gonna be.
I'd pick a Fiat and I'd poop that out because obviously, no matter what, I'm gonna get mutilated by the shit. Anyways,
you ask
the way
that
I deal
question?
with extreme depression, the best way that I view it is by going out and just talking to somebody, connecting for some. Sometimes I'll feel really depressed and I'll just call my friend and I'll just tell them like, just talk to me. Just talk. Just talk about your day. Talk about your interests. Just talk. Just be with me. Because just connecting to someone on even a small level as asking them to vent about their shitty work day will help pull you out of that hole, that deep, dark hole you find yourself in.
And let me tell you, everyone, very good job on realizing that it is a problem and that you are depressed. Because some people, I feel like, might not notice.
Big.
It's big. Like, literally, sincerely, good job. Because if you don't even understand why you feel a certain way and you can't put a label on it, it's like
you'll just take
you're
it out
lost
on people and on yourself.
And you don't get it. You're just like, I'm me. You know,
I think that really is the biggest step.
The
biggest
recognizing it.
And hardest step is going, I am in a bad situation. I have a problem. Maybe I am the problem. And what do I do now? What do I do? From there, everything is up.
And I said this one podcast ago, 2 or 3, I don't know. Basically, ice. I rub ice on my forehead when I get depressed to manifest the pain into my head as a headache. And I do that for 30 seconds about 5 times, and then it makes me cry almost every time.
It's really funny. On that podcast, there were 2 funny comments. One of them was like, I tried the ice thing and it really helped. It helped get me out of depression. And I saw another one that was when, thanks, I just rubbed ice on my head and now I have a headache and I don't feel better.
Well, yeah. But also,
so to each your own.
The point of the ice is to feel it, of course. But if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work. Also, cold shower for a while. I always feel good after a cold shower. It's just getting the dopamine, getting the sunshine as well, water, food.
Okay, Annie says, see, this one also is a goofy one and a very deep one.
Oh, shit.
And I love that.
You guys are doing great.
Annie says, what is your favorite Apple ringtone and your biggest fear?
Ooh.
My favorite Apple ringtone, I think we've established, I'm a big old nerd, and I love, one of my favorite games of all time is Undertale. I love Undertale. It really connected with me back in the day watching old YouTubers play those games, and I love the characters. So I have one of the songs, I forgot the song name. It's like one of the...
It's not Megalovania, right?
No, it's not Megalovania. I'll find the name of it while you're answering your favorite ringtone, because yours is a funny answer too. But it's an Undertale song, and I also like programmed it so that when it vibrates, it does like a little heartbeat, because it reminds me of like the little heart in Undertale. Anyway, you go.
Danny had that, and I realized how he was like, I love this song, and he was really selling it to me, and so I decided my ringtone should be a song that I really love. And so it is Bad Girls Club by Falling in Reverse. And every time I get a call, I think it's so funny because it's like, Bad Girls Club. And
yeah. I met a girl and I really thought that part.
I did it.
So funny.
My ringtone went off in front of our producer.
Oh, yeah.
And he didn't know it was like a joke, I don't think. So he's like, Falling in Reverse, cool, man. And I was like,
he doesn't know that you were just an ironic.
Yeah,
dude.
ironically doing it. But
Fallen Down is the name of the Undertale song.
And that Lil Peep song. Remember Lil Peep?
No.
He passed away.
I can't name a single
and
Lil Peep
XXX
song. I can't name one of his songs or one of Juice WRLD songs.
Do you remember those days?
I do.
When that was like in high school, everyone was like, he is like the greatest. And I'm like, hey, to each their own, but I never
connected with that era.
It sounds
or that genre.
It was very weird. But I'm like,
I feel like
is that an industry plant?
The rap and hip hop that I really connect with is
the older
stuff from the 90s and just the stuff that feels real and raw. Because that's what to me is beautiful about rap, is it reminds me of poetry and the way that it's just like spoken word and it's just real and raw. I love, like, Kendrick Lamar is probably my favorite modern rap artist, which, I mean, I'm sure everyone listening to this agrees with me, and if you don't, you're an idiot. But
is that a hot take? It's not a hot take.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think that's a hot take at all. Did you watch the halftime show?
No.
It was great.
Yeah,
it was so great. He is so good. He is so good. But I just never really connected with Juice WRLD. But I know some people who are like, Juice WRLD's music, like saved my life. You know who I really don't like? I do not like Suicide Boys one bit.
Really? Yeah.
No, I don't.
Every song I hear of theirs is kind of different.
Doesn't
and
feel
it's all
genuine.
random.
I feel like Suicide Boys is to rap what Machine Gun Kelly is to punk.
Yeah, Machine Gun Kelly. I read an Instagram comment, and it did kind of change my perspective. I don't like his music at all, or him, but they said, whether we like it or not, Machine Gun Kelly is playing music with guitar, and
It's true, and it's
and
good.
it was huge.
Yeah.
Like it got #1 or whatever.
And he's like reviving an old sound and making it popular, which I do like that
Yeah.
people are interested in the pop punk vibe and like the early 2000s
Yeah,
aesthetic.
Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah.
She's starting to use like guitars in
Oh,
every track,
she's
electric.
so good.
I love it. So, I mean, I think guitar is making a comeback. Some people are like, guitar is like, it's dead and blah, blah, blah. But I don't think so.
I don't think any music can be dead.
No.
I don't think any genre of music, whether it be classical or new metal or hip hop, will ever die because there's always going to be people who love it.
You're just doing it. Yeah. That's true. History won't.
And I think it's ridiculous to classify anything that isn't currently popular as dead. If anything, if something isn't as popular, it's more cool to like it.
True.
Right?
It makes you indie and underground and cool. But my biggest fear, I would say, I thought about it. I was like, it was the other day, and I was like,
Here's the questions.
dying. It's not my biggest fear.
Oh, we forgot. Yeah. Dying is your biggest fear, you
It's
say?
not but like, my biggest fear would be dying with the knowledge and regret that I didn't do everything I could to
interesting.
live life how I wanted to live. And that doesn't just mean the band, but right now, like the main focus is the band. This is what I want to do with my life, you know?
Yeah.
But let's say one day I wake up and I go, I just want to be a professor really bad. Then if it was so bad that I wanted it so bad and I died not trying, I would be so upset, you know?
Yeah.
But right now it's the band. Like I can't imagine just, you know, if I died now, you've said this before, but like I would be happy because I was doing what I want.
Yeah. I mean, I really think that's the ticket is just if you give your all to how you want to live, like when you die, your time will be well spent.
Exactly. Just do exactly what you want, unless it's evil and vile. But but like
love yourself and love the people around you.
Exactly.
And be a good person to others and to yourself. And being a good person to yourself means following your dreams.
exactly, you have to.
Yeah.
And I've realized, I mean, you read it in a million self-help books, but it's kind of true. It's like if you really focus all your energy on one thing, it's way more likely to happen. And if you,
Of course.
and if you have the mindset that it's happening, you know,
Of course.
I remember that was a switch that flipped. Like I already thought like that, but then I was like, I drilled it into my head, like for sure, this is going to happen. I manifested it every morning, every day, and things started working out.
I mean, you know what it's like? It's like when we started making TikToks and we went, I want people to. Did you just sensually kiss the microphone?
I did kiss the microphone, yes.
Okay, well, we're gonna move on. When we started posting TikToks, nobody watched them for so long, and we
Like
could
a
have
long
we could have went. I'm gonna try to become someone who people watch and like on TikTok, and then try for a bit and then stop. But we
Yeah.
went, I am just going to keep posting every day because every day that you post, every time that you post, that's another little chance that people will find it and people will love it. And we kept taking little chances for a very long time until it sparked. So if you just keep taking that little chance, if you post every day, if you spend every single day working towards a goal, that just increases your chances of success little by little by little by little.
Exactly. It's much better than, I mean, again, dying, not doing what you wanted to do.
Why would you ever stop taking the jump?
And the thing is, lots of people go, specifically with any art field, they're like, it's really hard to like, you know, make it big or make any money from it. And it's like, and most people don't make it is their point. And I'm like, most people don't make it because most people quit.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, you should experience failure a few times. Like you really
Oh,
should.
yeah.
I don't think anyone that runs like a super successful business or a band or anything like that has not just failed a million times, or even someone
No.
who has worked so hard on their relationships with their family, their friends, and that's everything to them. It's not like they haven't tried and experienced failure. You have to.
The key to success isn't being perfect. It's knowing how to deal with failure.
Yeah.
It's knowing how to move forward, how to learn and grow from failure and not let it break you.
It's your
not
attitude
let it shut you down.
towards failure, because failing is the worst feeling ever sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
It gets to your ego and everything.
And it's gonna happen.
Oh, yes. Like, but if you plan for it and be like, or just expect it, never have expectations of like, this is like going to be the biggest thing. Like, want it and know it, but don't expect it.
If anyone listening to
If
this
that makes any
likes my voice in our songs when we sing, I was denied from American Idol 3 times. I had my voice totally torn apart by a magazine 2 times. And either of those times, if I didn't have an iron will and was nice to myself and learn and grow and continue, that could have broken me so easily.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to fail and people are going to be mean to you.
That magazine was fucked up.
I know. People are going to be mean to you. I remember my sibling is a tattoo artist and they make videos and they told me, like, I'm really worried that people are going to be mean to me.
You're like,
and I
they
told
will.
them they're going to be mean to you. But the trick there is, like, if people give you hate, if people are mean to you, that just means that your art and your voice is reaching people
It is
that
being
aren't
heard.
that aren't your yes men.
And that's okay.
And that's good.
It's good. It's
That's
reaching
good.
those people. They're like, I don't like it, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then you find as well the people that will.
I would so much rather get negative feedback than strictly
zero.
positive, because that means that the only people listening to my music are people I know and my friends and the people
That's
who
true.
already follow us. But
That's true.
you gotta branch to people. You gotta bounce off walls and have people go, I don't like your things, and then find other audiences. Suicide Boys, who I just shit on, so many people love them.
Oh, that's
and I'm a
completely
hater.
true.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's
Like,
true.
if it, like, they are successful because it reaches people like me who don't like it.
Yeah, true. Like, we know about it.
You can't be successful without failure and without hate. It's impossible.
Exactly.
So cherish that. Love that.
Love
Know
the
that
hate.
that means that you're growing.
Exactly. And reaching.
I don't even remember what the question was.
I don't know. Help? ? By Elise. Hello. I'm going to make them British. Hello.
They could be British.
I've been a massive fan for quite a while now, and I want to ask your advice on an ongoing problem. Oh,
Watch, is this like really important?
this is important. I just read it. I think I... Shit.
They're like trying to genuinely ask for help.
Listen, but
And you're like, I'm going to make them British.
I read this one because this is from the last podcast. Like, that's when it was sent. And I just want to say this, we do not take our word for this, okay?
Oh, boy.
But let's go in. There's a guy I know who is about to turn 18 in a few days, and I'm turning 16 in April. He's been trying to make moves for a year and a half now. He won't fucking stop, even though it's almost an adult. Always bringing up the age gap. He's been my friend for quite a while, and he's been very open with me a lot of his shit. I don't just want to leave him after he has trusted me. What do I do? It sounds like, and this is my guess, you may be being manipulated a little bit if that's all he wants. But this is not our business, man. Like not our business, but wrong people to ask, I think.
But if advice that I would give is, in any situation like this, you're clearly feeling uncomfortable, and that's a sign that you need to fucking run. That's
Your
a sign
body's
that you
telling
should cut
you.
it off. Your
Actually,
subconscious is
do listen
telling
to
you
us.
that you're uncomfortable. You, in this email, clearly, like, no matter what, if there's a shred of you that isn't comfortable, listen to that and shut it the fuck off.
Yes.
Shut it the fuck off.
Actually, I agree with that. Danny, that was very good. That was very good.
Genuinely. Like,
There's a
always
person-
listen to your subconscious and your body.
Stay
You know
away.
what I mean?
Yes,
Stay away. Stay
and
away.
you're going to have to communicate and say, look, I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to be, around you anymore, or I don't want it like this, or blah, blah, blah. And if I can't, you need to have the relationship on your terms. You have to just tell them, like, look, I'm good as friends, because it sounds like you're good as friends. But if there's something he wants more from you and you just can't, then you don't want to, you're uncomfortable, then don't.
And guess what? If he doesn't fucking respect that, then there's your answer.
Yes.
If you say, I don't like get the fuck away from me. You're making me uncomfortable. And he tries to push you on it. Cut him out of your life. Forever.
Out. Done.
Life is too short to deal with people who make you feel unsafe or uncomfortable in any fucking way. If he really gave a shit about you or mattered at all, he would be nothing but respectful.
That's right. Danny boy.
So
This is me clapping. That was a good answer.
It's me clapping for you because I appreciate you.
The reason I said we're the wrong people to ask is because I'm like, I'm not sure like we could give exact solid advice on this. But that's
and if there's
general
problems
advice
with
and it's
that,
good.
like if you're 16 and he's 18 and something's making you uncomfortable, like this isn't a fun answer, but talk to your parents. Talk
Yeah,
to an
or
adult that you
whoever.
trust. Talk to someone who you feel safe with. I remember like I would have issues in high school with relationships because you're navigating like relationship
much.
dynamics that you've never dealt with before. And I had a teacher that I trusted, and she helped me gain a lot of perspective about things. So, like, I know talk to a trusted adult is the worst answer.
Talk to a. I thought you said, well, you said talk to a trusted adult.
Yeah, but talk to a trusted adult.
Yeah,
talk to like the
do
podcast.
talk to a trusted adult.
But
yeah.
never put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Surround yourself with people who make you feel good inside.
Yes, flee.
Because god damn, I wish that I was around.
Had known that.
I wish that I'd like
You
the
had
amount of time I could have gotten back if I spent time with friends who made me feel good about myself.
That's
like,
true.
Why are we so like
Because
desperate to please
'cause
people
it's
who
friends,
don't make us feel
you know?
comfortable?
It's friends.
Yeah.
It's just, man, that's true. I remember when I don't know, we stopped doing drugs.
Yeah.
I remember friends just naturally faded away. Like,
yeah, because we had friends who only were friends with us because they liked doing drugs with
and
us.
with each other.
And so when we stopped doing drugs,
All of a sudden, there's nothing to do with them. It's like, what you want to? Okay, how
and they
fun?
were never real friends.
How fun does this sound? Ready? You go over and sit in a room with high people. That doesn't sound fun at all,
Dude,
You know,
I was talking.
that wasn't even fun when you were high.
No, but you're okay
You
with
just
it
do it.
because you're high.
You're just like, I'm high. It's cool.
I was talking
Fuck
to
that.
my partner because they have always been sober and we are sober this year. And like one of the biggest ways that helps me stay sober is I think about any time I've been sober and hanging out with anyone who is inebriated in any way, whether it be drunk or high or whatever, like they are lame. They are
so boring.
fucking boring and lame and stupid and not fun to be around. Why would you ever
It's true, though.
want to be like, I know people that I love that are like fun to be around normally.
Yeah.
But when they're high or drunk, it's like you are just not fun right now.
Yeah.
I can't hold a conversation with you because
Yeah,
your
because
brain
you're
isn't
sitting there
here.
like,
Your brain isn't working. And you're giggling
Yeah.
at fucking nothing. Meanwhile, I'm trying to watch Adventure Time. I don't know.
There's something, That's true. I remember thinking about it, and I was like, every time I go to a party, for example, and I have a few beers, I just go, why didn't I just stay sober? Like, or even if I get smashed, drunk, I'm like, what is the point of even being drunk? Like, I have much more fun sober.
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
at the very least, you could have fun just watching the drunk people do drunk things. It's better than
Yeah.
just being drunk. It doesn't feel good at a
No.
certain point. You're just masking something.
That's wild. Anyway,
Anyway.
he says, please pick me.
No. Next.
The first line is, first of all, don't say my name in the video.
Oh shit.
Just in case my friends see this.
We're gonna
so
censor
we
that.
will bleep that
We say the name like 3 times.
to start it out. All I do is sit in my room and blast My Chem and Radiohead. I've watched Lord of the Rings 5 times in the past 4 months. I'm basically flunking school. I'm concerned about how I will ever be a functioning adult. I think I need help, but you guys are the best, and I want you to perform my funeral. Anyway, would you rather give birth or pass 3 kidney stones?
What the
Well,
fuck?
Bailey, it seems like.
It
Here's
seems
the thing.
you're cooked.
We are not professionals. We are not psychiatrists. We are not psychologists.
There we go.
But if you want to know what we would do, like, just, oh man, that's tough because it's hard. It's hard when you fall into those bouts of depression or feeling like you're not doing anything with your life. But what I would do if I was you is ask myself, what do I want to do with my life? And then take a step towards that. You know what I mean? And I love watching Lord of the Rings and listening to My Chem and Radiohead, and that is how I like to unwind. And school wasn't for me. So I was flunking school as well, but I knew I wanted to be a musician. So I took a step and wrote songs, practiced my guitar. Or if you go, I'm flunking school and I feel bad about it and I want to do better at school, take a step and ask someone who you know is good at homework, be like, hey, can you help tutor me? Just take one step. It doesn't have to be a lot, just one thing that helps to get you where you want to go. And talk to a therapist, because we are not therapists.
Yes, and I will say, you said something about think about what you want to do with your life. And even if that is purely just, I want to not do what I'm doing now, that's a good start.
That's okay.
Or even if I want to be happy, what I would recommend is get outside and kind of think about that. Go on a walk, go on a run, kind of think about that. It always has something to do with me going outside with me. I'm like, go outside.
Nature's a great way to reconnect.
You should go outside.
But there's no rule book. You don't have to
The school thing,
do anything. You know what I mean?
the school thing, it just, to me, I don't see the big deal, but that's just me because I did flunk school. But what I'm going into, which is music, it doesn't need school, you know?
If you want to be a doctor,
then that's different.
Sure.
But here's the thing. You can flunk high school, at least from what I was told by a teacher. You can flunk high school, and then you can get your associates of some kind, and it can wipe your grades anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like you'll be fine if you're trying to go to the college route. That's going to be okay. Don't worry about that. What you need to focus on right now is getting out of this sitting in your room doing nothing, because it seems like you don't want to do that, you know? So get out of your room. First step, I know it sounds stupid and easy, but literally get out of your room, you know? And it's easier said than done. Get out of your room, and then from there, make it part of your routine. Stay in your room a little less, you know?
Yeah.
Hang out with friends.
And if you're depressed, talk to a therapist.
Please talk to a therapist.
Therapy is so important. It is so important, and therapy will help you a lot more than these curly-headed fucks on the podcast.
If we're assuming that we still have a dick if we're giving birth,
what?
I would rather pass 3 kidney stones.
I forgot. I completely forgot about the question.
Bro said,
I was
what?
like, what? What are you talking about?
No, if we still have a penis, I'm not giving birth out of a penis. But if it's like I have a vagina.
I think how I took the question is it's like we give birth with a vagina or pass 3 kidney stones.
Oh.
And I don't know the pain levels of either.
Look it up.
But I will say this. I would pick the kidney stones because if I give birth, I don't know what to do with the baby. I'm not ready for a kid. I don't want to raise a kid. Adoption is a whole process. I don't want to bring a kid into this world that I'm not conscious about. I think it's very important to really think that through. So I would pick the kidney stones.
Some people eat the baby.
This guy is asking me about D&D, and I'm very excited. So Xander says, I wanted to ask Danny if he had any D&D tips, specifically DMing. Me and my friends are just
like
starting
direct
to
message, like when you
do
send
our
message.
own campaign. Dungeon mastering.
Mastering. Oh, God.
Trying to do our own campaigns, but are still struggling. Okay, so for DMing, I think a lot of DMs.
I'm just going to turn my mic up.
Okay, yeah, I'll see you later. Or potential DMs, they get too lost in what people call the Matt Mercer effect. And that is you want to be perfect. You want to be a perfect DM. You want your players to have fun. You want to get the story going in a good narrative way. You want to get all of the rules right. You want to help everyone with your characters. But what you need to remember as a DM is it's not a part-time job. You are still just a person having fun with their friends. So don't overwhelm yourself. Don't try to learn all the rules that you don't have to learn. A good way to do it is pick up a campaign module. Go to your local game comic book store and pick up like a module with a pre-written campaign. And in that book, it's going to have all your encounters laid out, all of your NPCs laid out, all of your story beats. And then you're just going along that process with your players and have fun. Have fun. Personally, I really love when I'm DMing. I like writing out my own campaigns, writing out my own encounters, writing out my own characters and everything. And that's how I have fun. But that's a lot of extra work. And so sometimes it's good to just be able to let yourself relax. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to be Matt Mercer. You shouldn't hold yourself to the standards of professional DMs who do this all day, every day, and get paid for it. Just have fun with your friends.
There's professional DMs?
Yeah.
People get paid to play D&D?
People get paid a lot of money.
To have fun?
Have fun.
That's
like
amazing.
Matthew Mercer, he's the DM of Critical Role, which is like my favorite piece of media on the entire planet.
Yes. Oh, I know.
And
I'm well aware.
Like his job, he's a voice actor, so he acts in like video games and stuff. But
I'm a gremlin.
Exactly.
Does he do that?
He does.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
But he makes a lot of money just DMing games for people because he's like the best of the best.
Wow.
And he like
How
people
much
pay
does he
him.
cost?
People pay him to like run sessions for him, and he does like a lot of like events and live shows where he.
You know what we
DMs
should
for
do?
People. What should we do?
We should play Dungeons and Dragons on a podcast sometime.
You think that
Dungeons
I
and
don't think about
dinner
that?
rolls?
Dungeons and dinner rolls.
We've talked about this.
We've
Hey,
talked
trademark,
about this.
copyright, ours. That's ours. Yeah,
But just have fun and read.
because it's funny because I don't
Read the
know
books.
what the fuck is going on the whole time.
Thank you for asking me about D&D. And here's the thing too, like a lot of your players probably won't know what's going on either. But they're not gonna like it's not a you and then them. I know you're behind a screen, but you're still just having fun. So just have fun. Next question.
Sarah Martin. Hi, Danny. Hi, Jake.
Hi.
Well, hey, Danny. Hi, Jake. Sorry.
Hey.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
Hey.
You get the hi, I get the hey.
Yeah, don't forget that. That actually is important for later in the message.
What's the picture?
It's hello there.
Hello there.
Is there a dress code for the tour? Can I dress as a Taco Bell employee? Yeah,
Of course.
That
would be awesome,
that's badass.
and we will take a picture with you.
Oh yes, we will. What's your opinion on concert etiquette these days? I go to a lot of live shows. I feel personal space and boundaries have become non-existent. Wow. Okay. Well, wow. It depends. It depends what show you're at. We went to Bowling for Soup twice. The first one, everyone's
Yeah.
moshing, having fun. That's, in my opinion, what you're supposed to do at that kind of concert. Everyone was jumping. They didn't really care. They're having fun, but no one's being disrespectful. No one's punching each other. Like you see these metal shows, people are throwing elbows and shit. No one was doing that. Everyone's jumping. I'm talking so fast right now. That's amazing. But everyone's jumping and having fun. The second one, fuck everyone in that fucking room.
They were
hope-
awful. That was an awful
Fuck
crowd.
them.
They were an
Seriously.
awful crowd.
Everyone was just... the one guy, I was annoyed by him, but now I think he's the most fun. It was the one guy who tried stage diving 3 times.
Yeah.
Twice, actually. He did it twice. Or what's it called? Crowd surfing. He crowd surfed twice.
And
And
everyone was
everyone was kind of like...
and like people like I love when I'm at a concert, I like to dance and
'Cause that's what you're
move
supposed to
and
fucking
have
do.
fun. And especially it was general admission, but people were like, "Hey, can you please stop?"
They're like,
Can you-
this is
can you,
our spot.
Oh, this is what he said. He said, "Can you please pick a spot?"
Yeah, fuck you.
I was like, "Fuck you,
I went to
you dick."
Fucking dicks. I went to a show, and this actually grinds my gears. I went to Alter Bridge.
Yeah.
And we were at the front, me and my
Yeah.
friend. And then I wanted to stay at the front, but I also wanted to go get food because I was starving. My
Okay.
friend wanted food too. So we both go back. We should have planned it more strategically, but we both go back to the food truck. We get food. We come back in, and it's fucking... everyone is there now.
Yeah.
And so we were like, fuck. We were like almost front row. So we move up, and we realize like we're not going to be able to get in, but we see this guy. He's all drunk. He's this redneck guy. And he's like, I'm going to... well, he didn't say anything, but he's like, guys, like he's yelling to his friends at the front. So he's barging through everyone. So we just follow him. and we follow him, and he turns around, and he looks at us, and he goes, it looks like you guys don't have a group here, so you have to go. And he's like, you
Fuck
have
off.
to go. I was like, we got to the front.
He is barging through as well.
Literally, I was like, we got to the front fair and square. And so instead of going to the back, we go across, and we stand in front of this dad and his kid. And by kid, I mean like 20 something.
Yeah.
And we are not taller than them. We're standing in front of them. And he goes, finally, after like 3 minutes of us standing there, he goes, is there any reason you're standing right in front of us? And I was like, because we want to be up front. And I was like, but we don't. I was trying to be polite. But looking back, I'm like, I should have been like, it's general admission, so I'm going to stand right here.
Here's the thing, like,
that's how it fucking works.
if you're like not obstructing somebody's view or bumping in and poking somebody. I
fine.
feel like everyone needs to be respectful of each other. I was at what was it? I think it was Echo and the Bunnymen with my partner, and like there was a group of people who were shorter, and there were people in front of them. And the people in front looked behind and saw the shorter people and went, here, you go in front of me because you're shorter and I'm taller than you. and it's like, where the fuck is that? Where the fuck is that? Like, be mindful of your fellow neighbors. I think it's the mentality of like, I'm at this concert versus we are at this concert.
The guys just everyone in the Alter Bridge crowd, besides like more of the people in the middle and the back, they were just such dicks. Like the clientele for Alter Bridge was way different than I was expecting. The clientele for Alter Bridge was just, people were just assholes. I don't know, I did not expect that. I thought everyone was going to be like that first Bowling for Soup concert where everyone was just like having fun, jumping. No one's getting mad at each other.
And here's the thing for like concert etiquette too. Some of the best concert etiquette that I've ever seen is at like punk shows, metal shows, hardcore shows, because people go there and they just want to have fun and they're respectful. Like it's so beautiful when I see like a mosh pit and a circle pit and somebody falls and they clear up,
pick them up,
they help someone up and they say, "Are you okay?" and they keep going. Exactly. I was at Pierce the Veil and I was in the pit and this guy walks up to me and he went, "Will you help me tie my shoe?" And I said, "Yes." And I threw my arms out like this and I put my knee and he put his shoe on my knee and he was tying it and I was blocking people off and he went, "Thank you." And I went, "You got it." And then we kept moshing.
That's what you're supposed to do.
That's beautiful. That's community.
I think there's a balance because I do see some people don't want to mosh.
No, but you have to be respectful of those people.
I'm like, don't go to the front, or don't go to where people are moshing. If there's people moshing, you both got to understand. Some people don't want to mosh. Some people do want to mosh.
Yeah.
Go to where you want to go. If it's general admission, just go to where you want to go.
And respect people. If you're moshing, if you're thrashing yourself around and it looks like the people around you are uncomfortable,
chill
the fuck out.
If people are not moshing because of you,
that's the crowd. There are people who are just so violent in the mosh pits, and it's like you need to chill the fuck out. If there are people who like that and want to be like elbowed and hit around, like I like getting rowdy in the pit.
Yeah,
but sometimes a lot of people don't. You gotta match the energy.
How rowdy,
read people. Read people. Don't be violent.
Kilby, and there was this guy. Everyone was moshing, and I just noticed like this guy keeps bumping into me.
God damn.
and like, but like violently.
I hate those people. I hate those people.
I back up, and he would shove me and like push me and like elbow me, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And so finally, I backed up, and I felt he came to push me again, and I went and I swung my elbow back as to hurt him. Let me put that out there. And I look back, I barely touched the guy, and he's this massive motherfucker.
No.
And he's just holding the pole. And I went, "Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there." And he's like, "That's cool." And I was like, "Why are you trying to kill me?" I was like, "Please." He was trying. He literally was holding onto the pole because in Kilby Court there's just a pole in the
metal pole,
and he was just pushing and punching. And I was like, "Come on, that's not fair. You're a juggernaut. Like just
juggernaut.
Like, for real." I tried to take down the juggernaut. It didn't work.
Dude, I mean, some people really have fun with pushing and elbows, and some places that's very welcome and people all get a kick out of it. But a lot of the time, like, you're being an asshole even if you don't recognize. And other times, if you're at a crowd where it looks like everybody is shoving each other and being rowdy and having a good time and you're being a prick,
you're like,
and you're
stop
like,
it.
And you're like,
do
don't,
not
and
hurt
don't
me,
touch
though.
me. It's like, okay, then move.
It's like, then fuck off.
Then move because other people are having fun. You gotta be respectful of those around you and be mindful and pay attention to what the people around you are doing.
I think, like, for example, at the Bowling for Soup, the second concert where everyone was just doing nothing, just not moving. When you were dancing,
I was still being respectful. I wasn't bumping into someone.
No.
My partner and I were dancing in place.
Literally.
Because no one was having fun.
And they turn around and they're like, "Yep." I'm like, you got to understand, you cannot control what other people are going to do.
No.
If you are dancing, they can't stop you, even though he tried, and they got to understand what they can do is take a step forward. Like, do you remember the person behind us? Literally, we talked to each other. We just looked at each other and we were talking to each other. And they go, "Can you maybe stop touching me?" And I was like,
"No." What? They said, "Can you maybe please stop talking over me?"
No, they said touching.
Oh, they said touching. Oh, I thought they meant because we were like crossing and talking in front of them.
No. It was about that. It was about they thought we were like. But the thing is,
like elbowing them or like bumping into them.
What was
like then take a step back.
What was happening?
We're in a group, man.
We are in a group, and she was just standing there as close as she could to us. And I turned behind, and she has a whole She can just back up. That's all she had to do. She had so much room, and instead she goes, "Can you maybe stop touching me?" And I was like, We didn't even notice, you know?
I mean, like, when I was dancing at that show, I didn't go to the people standing still and be like, hey, can you please fucking move around?
Yeah.
It's like, no, I knew, okay, they are standing there and watching the concert.
So I'm not
there's this little bit of space here. I'm going to dance in this space because I'm having fun.
Yes. If these two guys in front of me are going to talk and I'm in the way, I'll just back up a little. Like, it's so simple, but instead, everyone was so outspoken.
I remember that show. You told me that you wanted to be like, hey, no.
I wanted to
but
yell
you were
at her.
like, oh, but people know who we are. I can't have them be like, oh, the guy from Homestyle Dinner Rolls is being a dick.
Her specifically, I wanted to be mean to her, but I was like, the amount of people that recognized us there was too much for me to do anything. Because people were like, oh my gosh, Homestyle Dinner, you know? And I was like, that was actually awesome, dude. Like, that was such a good experience.
Good crowds. I went to... One of my favorite bands of all time is the Wonder Years. And I went there and like,
you told
it was
me.
a small venue, but everyone was having so much fun. And there was a section of people who just wanted to stand and watch the show and like some families. And then there was a section that was all jumping and moving around and you could cross between like, I have a heart condition and I love moshing with all of my heart, but I just can't do it very much. Otherwise my heart will give out. So all the time, I'm jumping in for like a few minutes and then I have to take a break for my heart.
Yeah.
And that show, like, it was so easy to go in and out of the pit. Everyone moved for you, was respectful for you. Like, people had their arms around each other, just randos, and looking at each other and singing along and feeling the passion. That's a good crowd.
You remember the Talks
That's community. Yes.
The Talks Hards crowd was perfect. Because there were people just chilling. And there were people rocking. And we were part of the people rocking. And so was, like, that whole group.
It is so not fun. That fucking hard.
It's not that hard.
It is not that hard to not be an asshole.
Everyone, it just shows, to me, it felt dystopian because I'm like, everyone is there.
And they were all recording at Bowling for Soup, too.
Yeah,
everyone just had their phone up so they could record.
Not the first time.
1985. The first Bowling for Soup show was so fun.
Was just rock.
What was the difference?
What happened?
What happened?
I feel like everyone at the second one was like 30 and up.
Was it the venue? Well, here's the thing. There were older people at the first Bowling for Soup show that were having so much fun. There was a circle pit the whole concert. Nobody jumped at all at the most recent one. Not at all. It must have been like the venue. Maybe it was the venue. Mm-hmm. I just don't get it, man.
I will say, I'm remembering now as an act of retaliation to that woman behind us that was being rude. I just stood in front of her just a little bit to block her view because I was like, fuck that,
I remember we were having a good time.
And that ruined it.
You shut down. You like your face dropped and for like a good while during that concert, I could tell that you were just pissed.
Yeah, I was like, fuck you. So yeah, I stood in front just so she would not be able to see. Not very nice of me, the bad etiquette, but also she started it.
It's a shame because I love Bowling for Soup and it was like the Hangover You Don't Deserve tour.
It's just legendary, dude. I don't know what the fuck happened, but
I don't either.
Fuck, hey, if you're listening to this, fuck you. I hate you. Seriously, if I ever see you again, I won't recognize you, but come up to me and say, hey, I listened to your podcast and I don't like what you said about me. And I'll look at you and I'll go, fuck you. Anyway, you ruined my night, okay? Actually, I'm not done. I'm holding this grudge. Just kidding. What's the next one?
Abby Lucas says, hey guys, I'd like to preface with the fact that these were the first questions I asked my therapist when we met. Favorite dinosaur and favorite rock.
That's what you asked your therapist? Are you 8? What is your favorite dinosaur?
Hey, look, whoa.
I really like dinosaurs.
Look, I think with therapists, for your first sessions,
it is important to know their favorite rock.
Well, it is vital to connect with them and to establish a good rapport. Because if you're just going to a therapist and just talking to a random stranger, you're not going to feel connected to them. I think it's important to
when you establish rapport with someone, how do you start? What's your favorite dinosaur?
I like to know what music. Hey, I love dinosaurs. I don't fuck with Abby.
Hey,
And
Abby.
Abby wrote us a very nice email.
Abby, I think that was a bad question to ask your
and
therapist.
Abby also said, I think the second half of this email is for you.
For me?
Jake, is for you.
Abby, I'm so sorry.
I think you should take a deep listen because Abby says, and if you don't have one already, I encourage you to do your research
Do what? Oh, therapist?
for your favorite dinosaur and favorite rock. And my favorite
Oh,
dinosaur, by the way, is Brachiosaurus.
Mine is...
Do you know what a Brachiosaurus is?
No. Is it the one with the...
You just did a circle motion with your hand, and I don't know what to do with that.
Is it or not? Obviously, T-Rex and the Utah Raptor.
Basic
Have you heard of that?
ass bitch.
Oh, yeah.
That's you.
But I understand how basic the T-Rex is, but I am a T-Rex.
You genuinely think the T-Rex is the coolest
Don't
dinosaur?
I give T-Rex energy?
No.
What do I give?
Spinosaurus.
You give that long dinosaur with the long neck and he's an herbivore.
I have some news. That's a Brachiosaurus.
Really? Well, there we
You
go.
walked right into my trap. That
There
is
we
a
go.
Brachiosaurus. That's my favorite one. I fuck with Brachiosaurus. He's got a long neck and he eats trees.
I feel like I give
and
T-Rex
I feel that.
or
Have you seen the one that's got like a mace at the end of its tail?
No.
It's like got a tail and it's got a big spiky ball at the end and it whips people with it.
have you heard there's a Utah Raptor?
Yes.
That's I would like to be
cool.
that. It's very close. It's like the third most. Hey, according to my Instagram reels,
Velociraptors are cool.
it is the third most dangerous. I don't know how. Now that I
Dinosaur?
think about it, how did they?
How did they know? You don't know.
Yeah, but Utah Raptor or the T-Rex. I like those.
T-Rex is
very
pretty
basic, but like,
I mean,
but they're sick. Hey, if it ain't broke,
and as far as favorite rock, I like
yes.
quartz. I think quartz is really cool. Obsidian obviously is very sick. What other rocks? I like limestone. I think limestone is cool. What other rocks do I like? What, Jake?
this is the podcast.
What?
So, what are my favorite rocks? Will
I think quartz. I think quartz is very pretty.
I'm
Trying to think of like crystals I like.
Yeah,
'cause
like crystals are pretty. I like tiger's eye.
Tiger's eye.
Very
is
pretty.
very pretty. My partner got me tiger's eye gauges, but they're 2 sizes up from what I am right now. So
you'll get there.
I gotta wait to stretch
You'll
it,
get
but it's
there.
like a delayed gratification prize.
Don't they hurt so bad?
No,
Why would someone get gauges?
because they're sick.
Well, fair enough.
They don't hurt that bad.
I'm just scared. You know, I
Yeah?
feel like that would hurt.
What part of it? The piercing or the stretching? The stretching?
All of that.
Well, I mean, it really doesn't hurt.
I've seen people's ears like red as shit, just being
Yeah.
stretched like so big.
I don't know if I could go that big, but like it's very fun. And I remember the piercer. His name's Braden at Heart and Hands in Orem, Utah. Great piercer. But he told me because I got mine pierced at 10 gauge, which is like I'm already getting it pierced pretty big, and it feels very dangly. And he's like, "Isn't that so fun?" And then the way he told me, he was like, when you start getting your pierces, it's so fun having the danglies, and then when you get used to it, you go a little bigger, and then you get that fun again, and then you keep going and going. So you keep, and he's like,
He just likes the feeling of
his
the
ears
dangle.
are like pretty gauged, and he's like, now I just have the fun danglies all the time. It's the best.
Well, fuck yeah.
It's very fun.
I don't know if I could do it. It's like tattoos and like piercings. They don't really call to me.
Oh, I love them.
You know?
As you can tell by my
yes.
snake bites.
Danny got snake bites, everybody. Very cool. I don't know. Like I really had an urge to pierce my ears. So
Yeah.
my ears are pierced, but I don't really wear earrings all that much, and I don't know, maybe one day I'll get another urge.
I just think it's a very fun way to accessorize. My sibling Kiko had snake bites, and when I got my snake bites, they were talking to me, and they were like, it's just like, it's cool and it's alternative without trying.
Yeah, it's just,
It's just there. It's just there. And it's fun, and I think it feels cool, and I love piercings. I'm thinking about getting an eyebrow, too.
Yeah.
And I love tattoos as well.
I think my favorite, like if I was gonna get another one, it would either be
Nose, that would be cool. Like a ring?
ring.
Yeah.
Not a septum piercing, but on the side of the nose. Or I did think seriously about a belly button for some reason.
Really?
I was just like, that'd be
Just 'cause
so
that'd be so
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Just your nipples pierced.
Oh fuck!
It's
My
fun,
friend's
man.
dad got his nipples pierced.
That's awesome. That's fucking badass, dude.
I know, and I don't know if he ever got it unpierced, but hey,
That rocks.
isn't that hot?
Good for that guy, man.
Fucking sick.
Dude, piercings, they're just fun, man.
Wouldn't that hurt your nipples, do you think?
Yeah. Dude, we were at the shop and we were talking to one of the piercers there, and she does suspension. Do you know what that is?
No.
So suspension is an art form in like the piercing and alt community where they pierce your back and they put piercings in your back and attach it to a hook.
What?
And hang you by the piercing, and you like float, and you were like suspended by, because they put it in a very specific place so that it doesn't like rip, but you're hung by the piercing in your back, or they can do it in your arm and in your legs, and you like swing around attached only by you look so scared but the way she described
That sounds
it,
like it would hurt so bad.
Oh yeah.
So
But
bad.
she
Fuck.
like, I loved the way she was talking about it. 'Cause she said that it felt like ascending once you get your toe off of the ground, and it feels like the most deeply personal experience because you were held up by nothing but your own body. And it's like, it's a lot of pain, but it's also like a way to test like your will and your and your bravery, because it's a brave thing to feel all that, and it's concentrated pain. It's the entire weight of your body held by a puncture and by your hanging skin.
Oh my God.
But she said it was like a spiritual experience to be ascended only hung by piercings in your body. And it's also like, it has a lot of roots in Native American history as well, because it used to be seen as like a rite of passage. It's very interesting. There's a documentary about it on YouTube. I encourage you to look into it. It's really
What
cool.
does that mean?
Talk for a second, because I'm going to pull up a video of this because it's insane.
That term, rite of passage, I've never understood it. And I still don't understand it.
Something to prove your
Badassery.
worthiness, or I think they did it as like a way when you become a man that like proves you are brave and strong and willing.
All I'm saying is you told me about the, what's it called?
Suspension.
And the more you talked, the less I was convinced. I started with,
Really?
oh, that's kind of cool. And then the more you talked, I was like, that sounds horrible. That sounds like the most painful, horrible shit.
Look, this is...
okay, but also, wait, my question
is Cruella Morgan.
Where do they get... Like where do you go to get hung by a piercing?
There is...
or can you just do it in your house?
I think the girl I talked to, she did it at just a friend's place. They have what they call the playground, which is like a bunch of metal poles and stuff that you like push off of and swing back and forth.
See,
watch this video. She is currently suspended by skin on her elbow and her knee and swinging around. Like the people who love this really truly love it, and I think that's a beautiful thing.
If it did not hurt, I would be. If you said there's no pain when they are hanging, like it's just, I'd be like, that's fucking sick.
But of course, there's so much pain.
Oh shit, man! Like
that's got to be like one of the most painful experiences.
Oh my God, they do crazy things, man.
How about
Let's do one more.
One more question.
Well, your phone's dead, so it's been good.
So it's been great. It's been real. We are homestyle dinner
We're gonna
rolls.
do patty cake real quick.
Okay. Are we doing it the way one way?
Yeah, let's do.
We've done
Let's
it
try
before?
to do the intense way.
How long do you want to go? Let's try to go to 10, or just as much as we can.
Until.
Do you need a warm up, or are you ready?
Let's warm up.
Okay.
Oh fuck!
Okay,
Wait,
so the way that we are doing patty cake,
we add one on every
is
time.
you add one on, so you do like
frustrating.
1, and then you 1, 2, and then switch, and 1, 2, 3, and then switch, and it's very difficult. If you're listening, I highly recommend you to go to our YouTube to try to understand how this patty cake works, so you can yell at your friends the way that we yell at each other.
Here we go.
You fucked it up.
That was the best we've ever done.
Had it. We were locked in.
That is the best we've ever done.
That is the best we've ever done. I could see that you started to lose. You got to count so hard.
I wasn't. Oh, yeah, I was counting. The ones I was counting the most is the one.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, I was going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
Oh,
1, 2, 3,
interesting.
yeah, that helped me. I don't know.
Interesting.
Well,
Anyway, we are Homestyle Dinner Rolls, and you've been listening to Too Damn Loud.
Meow.
Meow.
Meow.